Right, so this is 8-2 notes, the second part of it, where you are going to solve equations. Some of these you already know how to do, some of them are going to be a little bit new. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here with this first one. First thing that I would have you do is draw your line right on the equal sign. We're going to distribute the 2 and we're going to distribute the 3. So I have 2a minus 6 is equal to negative 6a plus 18. Okay, you want to get these A's right here, you want to get those on the same side. What I do is say, okay, whichever one's smaller, that's the one I want to move. So I'm going to go ahead and move my 6A because it's smaller. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line. These mark out, that's my zero pair. 2 plus 6 is 8, so I have 8A minus 6 is equal to 18. Last thing that I want to do is, or not last thing, but I want to move my 6, get those on the same side. Okay, so then these mark out. I have an 8A left over, and then you have 18 plus your 6, and so you have 18 plus 6, you get 24. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And so 24 divided by 8 is 3. And so I have A is equal to 3. Okay. So I'm not going to do number 2 because we know how to do those. I'm going to jump right in and do number 3. So for number 3, I'm going to go ahead, again, distribute this 3x to everything inside. Draw my line. Okay, so when I distribute that, you have 3x times x, so that's 3x squared. And then I have 3x times negative 5, so 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And don't forget the x. Minus 3x squared is equal to negative 30. Okay, I see here that I have a positive 3x squared and a negative 3x squared. Those cancel each other out. So those guys are pretty much gone. And all I'm left with is a negative 15x is equal to a negative 30. So all you need to do is divide both sides by negative 15. So that gives me a positive 1. And negative 30 divided by negative 15 is a positive 2. Okay. So number 4. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and just draw a line right down the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to distribute my 6, distribute my 2, and we're going to multiply this out. So we have 6x squared. 6 times 2 is 12, so plus 12x is equal to 2 times 3 is 6, so 6x squared, and 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, I'm gonna move these x squareds first, and if you notice, they're the same number, so it doesn't matter which one I move. But when I do this, okay, these mark out because those both give me 0 pairs. So what I have left is 12x is equal to 24. Got to get x by itself, so divide both sides by 12, and you'll get x is equal to 2. And again, you can always rewind this or pause it if I go too fast, because like I said, I'm limited on time. Okay, so here we go, number 5. Right, again, I'm going to draw my line on the equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 4 and distribute the 2. So I have 4 times 2 is 8, so 8p. 4 times 1 is 4, so plus 4. Bring down my 12p. 2 times 8 is 16, so 16p. 2 times 12 is 24. And now I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms because I see over here I have an 8p and a negative 12p. So when I combine those, that gives me negative 4p. When I have a plus 4 is equal to 16p plus 24. Okay, I want to go ahead and get my p's on the same side. And the one that's smaller is at negative 4. So I'm going to add 4p to both sides. Okay, so that is my 0 pair. I have a 4 here. 16 plus 4 is 20, plus 24. Okay, I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. So 0 pair. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my work a little bit over here to the side. 4 minus 24 is negative 20, so I have negative 20 is equal to, I have 20p. And the last thing that I need to do is divide both sides by 20. So I have 1p is equal to -1. And you can always check by putting this, plugging -1 back into the problem. All right, let's see, number 6. Okay, so number 6, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. And I'm going to distribute the 2, distribute the 4. So 2 times 6, we have 12x. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times -4 is -16. All right, I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. So I have 8 and 2. So we have 12x. 8 plus 2 is 10. Is equal to 4x minus 16. Right? Get your x's on the same side. So here are my x's. You always want to move the smaller one. It makes the problem easier. So I'm going to subtract 4x because 4 is smaller. So those cross off. 12 minus 4 is 8. So 8x plus 10 is equal to -16. Okay, and now what I want to do is subtract 10 from both sides. So subtract 10, subtract 10. Right, that is a 0 pair. So I'm going to move over a little bit to the side. So we have 8x is equal to a -16 and -10. That's a -26. Okay, and then last thing that we really need to do is just divide both sides by 8. And x is equal to -26 divided by 8. And I think that comes over to -13 divided by 4. So y'all are going to have to double check on this one because I don't have my calculator with me, but I'm pretty sure that divide both of those by 2, and that can reduce a -13 over 4. Alright. Just making sure I did everything right. Okay, so let's move on to these last couple problems. I'm going to skip number 7. Let me move on. We'll do number 9. Okay, so number 9. Draw my line on the equal sign. Okay, distribute the 3. And remember, this is a -1 I'm going to distribute. So we have 3 times 2 is 6, so 6a. 3 times -6 is -18. When you distribute a negative, your signs change. So this is a positive 3a and a positive 1. That's equal to 4a minus 2. And then I'm going to combine my like terms. So when I combine my like terms, I have a 6a and a 3a I need to combine. So that will give me 6 and 3 is 9. So there's 9a. And then I also have a -18 and a positive 1 I need to combine, which will give me -17. So -17. And I still have is equal to 4a minus 2. Okay. So now what I want to do is get my a's together. So I have a 4a and a 9a. The smaller one is the 4. So I'm going to subtract 4a. I'm going to subtract 4a. Let me draw my line. Whoops. Let me draw my line. 9 minus 4a is 5a. So I'm going to bring it over here. So I have 5a minus 17 is equal to -2. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add 17 to both sides. And I'm going to have to bring my problem over. So this gives me a 0 pair. So we have 5a is equal to -2 plus 17 is 15. All right, last thing that you need to do is divide both sides by 5. So a is equal to 3. Okay, let's do number 10. So I'm going to draw my line down the equal sign. I'm going to distribute the 5 and against the -1 and another -1. So lots of distributing on this one. 5 times 2 is 10, so we have 10x squared. 5 times -1 is -5. -1 times 10 is -10x squared. -1 times -6 is a positive 6. -1 times x is -x, and -1 times 2 is -2. I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. I have a 10x squared and a -10x squared. 10 minus 10 is 0, so really those cross out, so we're done with that. And what I'm left with then is I have this -5 and a positive 6, so that just gives me 1. On the other side, there's nothing I can combine, so I have -x minus 2. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a 2 to both sides. So that's my 0 pair. 1 plus 2 is 3, and that's equal to negative x. You cannot have a negative x, so you need to divide both sides by that negative 1. So you will get x is equal to 3 divided by negative 1 is a negative 3. Okay, and we got 2 more, and then we're done. So for this one, okay, I'm going to have a 3 to distribute, a 2 to distribute, a negative 5 to distribute. So we have 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15. Combine like terms, so I have a 3x and a 2x. So 3 plus 2 is 5, so there's 5 x's. Then I have a 6 plus 2, so 6 plus 2 is 8. And I'm going to rewrite everything I have over here because there's nothing I can combine. Okay, so now what I have, let me find another highlighter. What do I do? Let's do blue. Okay, so I have 5x here and a negative 5x here. So I want to move the smaller one, which is the negative. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides. Okay, so those cross out. 5 and 5, that gives me 10x plus 8 is equal to 15. Okay, and then what I want to do is subtract 8 from both sides. So that crosses out. So I have 10x is equal to 15 minus 8 is 7. Divide both sides by 10. Those cross out, so x is equal to 7 over 10. All right. Okay, and the last one that we have is number 12. So again, I'm going to draw my line right on the equal sign. I'm going to distribute the 4, distribute the 2. So 4 times 3 is 12, so 12p squared. 4 times 2 is 8, so 8p. I'm going to bring this down. 2 times 8 is 16, so 16p. 2 times 6 is 12. Whenever I combine like terms, okay, my p squareds, those are gone, 0 paired out. So all I have over here is an 8p is equal to 16p plus 12. In this case, 8p is all by itself, so I'm going to bring the 16p over, so subtract 16p, subtract 16p. Okay, so this is a 0 pair. 8 minus 16 is just negative 8, so negative 8p. And I have a 12 left over. Okay, so to get p by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. So that gives me 1. And then 12 divided by negative 8, 4 goes into both of those, so it'd be negative 3 over 2. Alright, and that is it. So that's the second part of the 8-2 notes. If you need any help, just come see me.